オフにお金を使わないのは大谷に失礼だ。コンフォートじゃなくて本当に良かった。タッカー加入でムーキーは6番かな。
どうも大谷です。2026年になってもドジャースの冬の支配は相変わらずのようですね。またしても全米を敵に回すような超大型補強カイル・タッカーと契約したドジャース。今回注目したいのはその金額や契約以上に現地ファンも嫌というほど嫌味を言われている様子のドジャース流野球ぶっ壊し問題です。これに対してはさすがに現地ファンも言い分があるようで、今回は若干半切れみたいな感じで語り合っていました。さらなる高みを目指して着々と完成形に近づいているドジャース史上最強の打線。そしてなぜドジャース流野球ぶっ壊し問題が大谷翔平に対する礼儀なのか、今回は現地ファンのポッドキャストから反論と将来への期待が入り混じり合う様子をそのままお届けします。ぜひ今回はお気に入りのお酒でも片手に現地ファンの本音トークをのんびりと楽しんでみてください。じゃあとりあえず生で
朝日じゃなくてキリね。
Bo, what are your initial reactions to adding Kyle Tucker to this team?
Yeah, the $60 million is such a funny thing that people bring up because it's like, it's not my money. I don't care. They can pay him $80 million a year. I don't give a shit. Like, and the counter to that is that Ohtani is making $2 million a year. So just perceive it as Tucker is making $30 million and Ohtani's making $30 million, and there you go. Everything's fine. I stumbled across like a thing from 6 days ago saying that the Dodgers could sign two guys to fill their biggest offseason need. One was Kyle Tucker and the other was Michael Conforto. So thankfully they went through door number one and signed Kyle Tucker instead of bringing back Michael Conforto. But yeah, like I don't know, man. There's so much with this because it's obviously ruined baseball. Baseball's like just killed now. No one's going to watch. No one's going to care. It's all over. But yeah, like you said, like the Dodgers don't rest on their laurels and they do what it takes to improve their team, which I thought was what everybody wanted teams to do, but I guess not. I guess teams are supposed to just stand pat and never get better, unless they're the predetermined team of choice that gets to sign somebody. Or you're the Mets. I guess if the Mets had signed Kyle Tucker, then everybody would be cool with that. I don't know.
Yeah. Now the Mets did counter after missing out on Kyle Tucker with Bo Bichette and then traded for Luis Robert, and those are solid moves. That don't get me wrong. They gave the money they would have given to Tucker to Bo Bichette instead, because now Bo Bichette is getting $40-something million a year, which. Again, when you look at the contracts in a vacuum of the average annual value, this is truly outside of Ohtani and Soto, and technically just Soto because Ohtani's not really getting that money on a yearly basis. It's just uncharted territory. We only see these numbers typically for the elite in this sport, but now we're seeing these just few years. Very high AAV sort of deals. And that's largely because Kyle Tucker, if he got a quote unquote normal contract this offseason, you're looking at he would have gotten $400 million for 10 years or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so by paying him half of that, a little more than half of what he would have gotten on the market, you're now just in essence, you're only paying for his prime years. It's a very smart business move because now you're not going to have a contract that looks like a total albatross for 3 or 4 years at the end of that player's deal. You're avoiding any sort of issues where now you've got a player who's 37, 38 and making 40 to 45 million a year, which again, in a few years from now might be more of the norm because that's just how contracts and money in general is trending. But, I love the fact that this is the sort of deal they were able to get from Tucker. We had talked about Kyle Tucker throughout the season and said this is kind of the ideal scenario. If they were going to add a player like Kyle Tucker, we're totally down with it as long as it's for just a few years. Throw a whole bunch of money at him. Who cares? As you mentioned, it's really Shohei Ohtani's money that's being divvied up amongst a bunch of other people. And this is the big conversation with this. Obviously, the overwhelming reaction from a lot of people has been, okay, the rich get richer. They just gave out this ridiculous contract. Nobody can compete. Let's just lock it out in 27 and bring in the salary cap. And to that point, listen, I don't want to completely dismiss it because again, $60 million a year for one player is something that's highly unfeasible for a lot of teams to do. But at the same time, it's because of the way the Dodgers have built their franchise for well over a decade now. Think about the fact that this is a team that within our lifetimes, not that far away, had an owner that was bankrupt. Yeah. and they were in a situation where the ownership group was falling apart and thereby the franchise was falling apart. And they put in the right people. They brought in Andrew Friedman. They had a great ownership group come in and invest heavily in this team. And this has been a result of continued investment from people who want to win and very smart people who want to win. Mm-hmm. Obviously, getting Shohei Ohtani then even just takes things to another gigantic level. And the way that Ohtani structured his contract not only makes it easier for the Dodgers to be doing this, but kind of forces them to. Because quite frankly, if the Dodgers are not spending money every offseason, they're doing a disservice to Shohei Ohtani. Because the entire point of his contract was to surround him with as much talent as possible so he can get as many championships as possible. And he's already 2 for 2.
That's insane. That's so
it's truly nuts. But to that point, too, where Colin Cowherd was talking about this today, and I thought he did a great job of talking about it because he's saying, listen, if the Dodgers weren't nearly as good as they were, this wouldn't be a problem. There are so many billionaire owners out there who could easily pay guys like Kyle Tucker this money. There are a ton of owners. Think about what the Angels did, okay? Think about the fact that Shohei Ohtani was a member of the Angels. And for much of the current millennium, the Angels spent a lot more than the Dodgers did.
He took the same contract he got from the Dodgers to the Angels and said, I will sign this with you. And they chose not to. They made the choice. It's not the Dodgers' fault. It's just, it isn't.
Think about the gigantic contracts that have been handed out prior to Ohtani coming to the Dodgers. The Angels did more of them. They gave Albert Pujols all that money. They gave Josh Hamilton all that money. Gave Anthony Rendon all that money. Yeah. And they extended Mike Trout. And obviously Trout has been hurt, and that's made that more difficult on them. But that was the right thing to do in order to give them a chance to retain Ohtani. But their biggest problem is not because they didn't have money. It's because they were very dumb in the way they invested it. They put all the money into Albert Pujols for the second half of his career where there was already concerns over his mobility because of his foot. They gave a whole bunch of money to Josh Hamilton, who battled injuries throughout his career. He also battled other issues throughout his career. And luckily he didn't have to deal with those when, he got through that and got better. But the injuries still came through when he was in Anaheim. And then they gave a whole bunch of money to Anthony Rendon as a last-ditch effort to try to bring in another superstar to unite with Trout, to pitch to Ohtani to, hey, stay here. And Anthony Rendon doesn't want to play baseball. And now he won't anymore. He actively hated his career, and he gets to make so much money and ride off into the sunset.
It would actually be funny, though, if he... What if he signed somewhere else and just played good again?
And now let's finally talk about what this means for the Dodgers offensively and as a team. They literally have replaced Michael Conforto with Kyle Tucker. That's straight up what they have done. Conforto, who was so bad last year, he just was not on the postseason roster at all. Thank God for Kike Hernandez being a postseason beast, because he was able to fill a gigantic hole in the outfield on offense throughout the postseason. But now we have Kyle Tucker. And great thing, too, is Dave did say at the press conference today, Kyle Tucker will be playing right field, which means Teoscar Hernandez will be playing left field, which means that should be better. It's not like his defense will magically improve, but it cannot be worse. He is much more suited for left field at this point in his career. And Tucker provides great defense and right. Great arm in right field. Tucker is a 5-tool player. His numbers last season don't exactly jump off the page, but he was still solid, and he gives you 20-20 to 30-30 upside. He hit like 260-ish last year, but he can easily hit in the 280 range and get on base a good amount, slug a good amount. He's a great all-around player.
He's a 5-win player. Like Conforto was worth Conforto was worth negative 0.7. So they replaced. That's the easiest thing. It's just we talked about it before they signed him. I think it was like honestly 2 days before they signed him. Like I think we both agreed that Bichette was more interesting to sign, but Tucker was the easiest person to sign, to just sign him. He has a place to go, and that's what it is. Like, it's just plug and play, really. Like that's how they viewed it too, because that's what they're doing. They already know he's going to hit second or third, according to Dave, so that'll be nice. I wonder how Mookie will take that, but we'll see.
I want to throw out my idea for the lineup, because I've seen a lot of people put out lineup constructions, and I actually think mine is different, and I think it's the best one. Ohtani leading off, Will Smith batting second, Kyle Tucker batting third, Teoscar Hernandez batting cleanup, Freddie Freeman batting fifth, Mookie batting sixth, Max Muncy seventh, Andy Pages eighth, Tommy Edman ninth.
Yeah.
Now, what this does is it perfectly alternates that lefty-righty bat throughout the lineup. You would use this against right-handers. You can use it against left-handers as well. I know you'd probably get... is Kike officially on the team yet? I don't think he is.
No,
right?
But come on. They're doing the same thing they did last year.
Yeah. So
he's going to wait till spring training.
You'll get him in.
60-man opens. And
We say Andy Ibanez is semi-facetiously, but Andy Ibanez is now on the Dodgers, and I think he will actually get a good amount of playing time against lefties. You probably see him play some third for Muncy against lefties. And that's fun. Me should help.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's nice. Yes, the big thing here is you are moving Mookie down to sixth in the lineup, and I think that's really because if we're staggering the bats lefty righty like this, you kind of just Mookie's not a cleanup hitter, and I'm sure that Mookie would get on base more than Teoscar Hernandez this season. But you can't deny Teo's power. He's more suited as a cleanup hitter, and we can't ignore the way that Mookie had extensive periods of time last season where he struggled offensively. I think we're at the point in Mookie's career where we need to be realistic and honest and say, okay, maybe sixth is more suited for you. You would hit between Freddie Freeman and Max Muncy, which is still like he's still going to see a whole lot to hit.
It's
it's a byproduct of how talented the team is.
Yeah, that's all it is. He was Mookie. I really didn't realize this. He was still a 5-win player last year too. Like he was still really good.
Yeah,
like postseason batting aside, like he was still really good last year. But yeah, it's literally just because guys got to hit somewhere, man. Like it's not a slight to him, at all. Like he would hit sixth if the Dodgers signed fucking young Albert Pujols and I don't know Barry Bonds or something like that. Like he would still have to hit sixth. Like just how it would go, man.
I understand that the conventional wisdom would put Ohtani and Tucker at 1 and 2, but I really like the idea of creating such a gigantic problem for opposing managers by staggering the bats, which is what they've done the last couple of years. And that's really why Tucker fits very nicely into this lineup, because it allows them to do that perfectly. Tommy Edman is the prototypical 9-hitter on this team, and then having even Max Muncy hitting 7th is nuts. Like it's top to bottom the best lineup in baseball, and it just got even better.
いかがでしたでしょうか。ドジャースが野球を壊しているという批判を現地ファンは大谷の献身に対する礼儀だと感じているようですね。何より印象的だったのは現地ファンの根底にある今この夢のような補強ができるのは大谷翔平がいてくれるおかげだという感謝の念です。 彼の後払い契約という自己犠牲がタッカーやディアスといった最強のピースを呼び寄せる魔法になっている。まさに大谷選手へのリスペクトを形にすることがドジャースの使命になっているようですね。ということで最後までご視聴ありがとうございました。今後もゴータニ TV は大谷翔平選手とドジャースを応援していきますので、チャンネル登録、コメント、高評価よろしくお願いします。